Hello and welcome back to City Skylines. As you've just seen, I did a bit more building between sessions again. Basically decided to pretty up my my port and industry area a little bit. Kind of been inspired recently by some of the cities on some of the City Skylines forums, various forums online that I've been visiting. It's got to be said, some of you guys make some pretty amazing stuff, so I thought I'd have a go at just tidying things up a little bit. As you can see, I just extended the port out. Added in a seawall and some props, and just sort of extended the industry area out so it's right up to the sea. So I think it looks pretty decent. Not amazing, but it's definitely an improvement anyway. Unfortunately, while I was doing that, disaster was unfolding across the Azure Archipelago. I'll be honest, it was somewhat a disaster of my own doing. So basically what happened was, if you remember last session, I was building Rouge Town over here. I kind of didn't take into account that it was only a single bridge going from the city centre over to Rouge Town, which are both pretty built up areas, it's got to be said. So obviously what happened was, this bridge became completely congested. As you can see, it's still kind of annoying they're only using that left lane, but as you can see, it's still pretty bad at the moment. So what essentially happened was, all these commercial buildings couldn't get workers. They became mostly completely abandoned. The service vehicles couldn't make it across, so garbage and stuff was piling up over here. Basically, the whole area became a bit terrible. So, if that wasn't as bad enough in itself, I noticed it then started having a ripple effect across the whole city. So, I guess because people were getting stuck over this side, and also service vehicles were probably getting stuck over this side, I noticed buildings over here were starting to get abandoned. Garbage was piling up, my budget started plummeting. People were literally dying all over the place and not being picked up, which, as you can imagine, is not the best thing in a tropical climate. So yeah, I basically got to the point where I had to pretty much just reload the game and try to fix things before they got out of control. So one of the main things I did was obviously putting a second bridge. I didn't really want to do that initially, but thinking about it, it's going to need one long term anyway, so that should hopefully alleviate some of the traffic. I also noticed that these ferries weren't actually being used by any passengers at all. So what I did, if we have a quick look, is I just extended the Azure City bus line to stop down directly at this ferry port. So that's now being utilised a lot more, which is quite good. So I also created this new highway connection over here, which runs directly into this part of town. The idea being that industry traffic could come from across the other side of town without having to go through the city centre. That seemed to somewhat work. Unfortunately, it then caused traffic problems over here, because all the industry was suddenly wanting to use this highway connection to get across town, which meant this road here became completely gridlocked. So I had to build this crazy kind of bypass across here, coming to this roundabout. So yeah, fingers crossed, things have slowly been getting back to normal. Have to keep an eye on things, but it just goes to show, right? I mean, just one little thing can cause a massive ripple effect across the whole city. So something I had to be a little bit careful of in future, especially on like an island map where I'm going to have sort of limited places to build bridges and stuff. So should be interesting, yeah. Anyway, let's get started on building some extra stuff this session. I think I'm going to finish off Rouge Town up until this point, and then that should be it, I think. Okay, so as you can see, I filled out the rest of this space with just some residential and some commercial, with a nice little park area in between. I've also left another little beach area on this side, so they've also got a jet ski rental and a kind of beach volleyball place over here. So there's a nice little beach area for these guys. And what I've done, I've intentionally left this little end bit free, because what I'm going to do actually is I'm going to build a sort of small kind of low density kind of mini suburb here, which will be the kind of like, I guess, the real kind of rich fancy residences, because if you look at it, that's right on the edge of the island there. So that'll be quite a cool little place, I think, for people to live. So what I'm going to do is just bring this road around. Maybe this will be like the kind of main road into it. Let's see. I might leave that little beach area at the end, so they've got their own kind of like private little beach. Be quite cool, I guess. So maybe have this kind of running up to there. Something like that. And then what we want to do is have another little road coming off here, I think. Let's make it a nice tree-lined road. And just coming off over here like that. And what I'm going to do quickly is just put in some services. So they're going to need some education, and they'll need some, probably just a small clinic I think would do. So let's chuck the elementary school there and a high school there. Maybe we'll have a little path running between them perhaps. And then let's put in a clinic as well. Maybe opposite. Like that. Or maybe at the end actually. Let's have the clinic at the end. We might need another little road actually running through that bit perhaps. Do we really want another road in there? Actually no, let's leave that for now. Let's just have that. And then we'll have this as a kind of little park area behind the schools. So let's run a path through there. Nice curvy path. Like so. And let's fill out this bit with some more trees. Maybe some palm trees around the edge because it is a nice little tropical place. So along the beach as well. And around this bit would be quite nice as well. So they've got their own kind of private little area. In fact, what I might do is just lower that end bit maybe just slightly so it's a bit more of a beach there. Let's see if we can do that. There we go, so they've got their own little kind of private beach there now, which is pretty cool. I'll have a little path running down there as well. What I might do is just chuck in a marina for these guys as well. Where was that marina? Yeah, let's have a marina sitting. This wants to be quite low in the water, so maybe we'll have that here. Oh yeah, that looks cool. Then we just need to run a road to that. Hopefully this won't break things too much. Oh, that looks good. And then... no, I think we just need to chuck in some houses. So all along this bit. So this is going to be the real nice kind of place to live. I might leave that in this bit. I might just put in some low res commercial as well. One right on the edge there, and some on this side as well. I might leave that bit. In fact, actually, I'm going to get rid of that commercial. I'm just going to have that as an open park. I think that looks nicer. This may take a little while to build up because there's not really any demand for it at the moment, but hopefully that should look pretty cool once that is all developed on. What I also wanted to do this session is I was going to build some buildings along this bit, but actually thinking about it, I'd quite like to make this a kind of little cliffside park area. It'd be quite nice, I think. So what I'm going to do is first of all just run a little path along there. So maybe starting from this bit. What we might do as well is actually just have it running. Let's have one running over here as well. So that'll run across the road and come back down this side. And then what we'll do is I may put the where are those tropical gardens? They look quite nice. Is that in normal parks? Tropical garden. Yeah, let's chuck Okay, I have to destroy the path a bit. But let's chuck these in here anyway. I think they'll look quite nice there. And then let's have the path running behind that. Something like that, and then we can dot some trees around as well. Maybe let's have this a kind of palm tree area. Be quite nice, I think. A few down there, a few this side, some along the cliff edge, and a few along here as well. Maybe just dot a few over here as well. Okay, so we've got a nice little park there that side as well. Now, I think the final thing I want to do this session is, so you can see I've already planned a basic road layout for this island. Now, the reason I wanted to get that done first is because I think this whole area is crying out for some kind of transport connection. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to build a bus line running through this whole area across the bridge. You'll see that I've already upgraded the bridge to have bus lanes. So hopefully that should make a little bit of difference to traffic. It already seems like it's flowing a little bit better anyway, but hopefully buses will help improve that a bit further. So what I'm going to do is I might chuck, I'm not sure I need another bus depot, but I might chuck another one in over here anyway, just in case. And then I'll get the line set up. So what I'll probably do is, I guess it should be best if I run it from the city centre over here, the main bus hub that we've got going on here. So I'll start it from the next one along. We can probably share some of the bus stops that these other ones use as well. So we can have one there, one up here, one here, and then it's going to run across the bridge. And we'll add a stop maybe here. We'll dot a few around this bit as well, so maybe one each side. 1, 2. Running across the bridge, and what we'll do is we'll have it running up one side and then back down the other. So I'll just put those in now. Okay, so as you can see, I also added one going the other direction. I'm not sure that's entirely necessary, but I like to have it running both ways anyway. So the last thing I need to do is just to change the colour of these and rename them. So of course they're going to be the Rouge route, Expressway to Party Town, and then that needs to be, of course, a nice red colour. That'll do. Oops. And the other one as well. Nice. Wow, look, all the different colour buses running. That's pretty sweet looking, I think. So hopefully that should improve traffic somewhat in this area, and especially across this bridge, I'm hoping. Okay, I think we'll call it a day there. One final thing, you may have noticed that our beautiful ocean waters are looking a little bit more blue now. The Azure Archipelago Tourist Board basically invested millions of dollars in blue food dye and proceeded to dump it into the ocean. So hopefully you appreciate their efforts there. Okay, thanks a lot guys. Please feel free to give me a comment if you can think of any other ways I can improve my traffic flow. It seems to be a bit better now, but we'll have to keep an eye on it anyway. And feel free to give me a like and a subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Alright, thanks a lot guys, and bye bye.